I wanted to, I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but feedback from you guys about what things we should be looking at or what games you're interested in will help us, make the team better and stronger and involved in other things other than just Battlefield. But I want some feedback about this. It has been discussed amongst the officers about committing to just one core game and disregard, setting up different branches. Just everybody, come together on one title. And I'd like you guys to give us some feedback. I know how the officers feel about that. I will say that most of the officers are supportive of, moving the team to one specific title on PlayStation 4 or two, in which case Destiny, but I guess we don't know how big Destiny is going to be yet, so that's kind of, up in the air, but focusing our efforts on one or two titles. Now, let's say, for instance, PlanetSide 2 doesn't meet our expectations or falls short on what they promised. Well, then we'll look at Destiny closely and see where we can go from there. I guess the bigger point is that nothing's necessarily written in stone. That we can and will change and try and service our membership the best we can. So, but again, if we don't have communication from you guys about what things you want, it's pretty hard for us to get everything together and make it worthwhile for all of us if we don't get any feedback. So participation is really kind of important. I mean, we've tried to, spread out a little bit, with the social media. I mean, perhaps we're not necessarily on the particular social medium that you like and, you would want us to try and do that. Well, sure, we can. I mean, that's always a possibility. Where we are right now is on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook on the largest ones. But if there's something that you thought, a particular social application that you think that we'd be better suited in, let us know. Now, I'd like to shift gears here a little bit and focus a little on PlayStation 4 a bit. And talk about, Share Factory and what its capabilities are and how it can really add to your fun. I'm sure most of you, if you've been on the website recently, would have seen that I have made a few different types of videos. I've made a first impressions video, a couple of them on Wolfenstein and Watch Dogs. I also made a medic tip video for Battlefield 4. And most recently, I did a montage video as well. So, these abilities to capture video and do these different things on PlayStation 4 really add to the fun. I mean, although I have to agree with the recent Battlefield Friends video that says that it is an oversaturated market on YouTube with people doing commentary type videos, and frankly, I'm not going to even bother trying to say that I'm even in the ranks of anything like that. It was kind of just a fun thing to do, to see how it works, see what I could do, and I've watched. Oh, for crying out loud! I've watched literally dozens of those videos over the years, and I always wanted to do one. So, I mean, it was a fun little distraction, that I enjoyed doing. And I'm sure I'll do some more. I mean, I am working on finishing up the next video that I promised, which is a mortar tip video. I am pretty good on the mortars on both PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. I think on my last check on PlayStation 3, I'm about 220 in the world with the mortars. And on PlayStation 4, I'm somewhere in the 600s. So, I think you guys will enjoy, getting some tips that I have found that really help with using the mortars. And, maybe I could show you one or two things that might help you use this weapon. I mean, it's a gadget. I think it's one of the more underutilized gadgets in the Battlefield 4 game. And, if you use it working with a team, you really can do some damage. But I'll cover that in the video. I'm just looking for a couple more clips of some mortar action, and then I'll be finishing it up. It's already mostly done. I have not yet done the commentary on it. I found the perfect song. I considered just throwing the video up with the song because the clips really look good to the song. So, but I held it because I wanted to give the commentary part of it, which was what I had promised you guys that I was going to give. I wanted to first show that first. So, that's coming in within, I would say, the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that on the website. However, one of the things about Share Factory that, is kind of cool is that, there is a lot that you can do as far as creativities for creating montages and clips. And I will admit, it's not the easiest to share, as you need to upload, to YouTube and, oh, you bastards. It's not the easiest thing to do because, as far as the upload goes, you can upload directly to Facebook, and that really works well, and it does, it doesn't take forever to do it. The way I've done it is I've made the video in Share Factory. You have to render it there, and then it goes to your capture library. And then from there, I upload it to a flash drive, and from the flash drive to YouTube. That's a pretty cumbersome process, but, we've been told that, that they are going to have the direct integration coming for PlayStation 4 very soon, and I think that that's going to make doing videos even easier, and having the ability to direct upload them to YouTube is an awesome feature, and I really can't wait to see how that works out, with the system. I'm really looking forward to that feature, and I hope it works as they promised. I wanted to talk real briefly about the gaming industry right now and some impressions that I have about this, and it kind of, I think everybody, most gamers, who are consumers because they spend a shitload of money on this, are genuinely pissed off. I know I am pissed off in being promised titles at a certain date and then it being delayed. I understand the motivation behind doing this. It is a lot related to the financial side of the business, where these are the developers and studios are publicly traded companies, on the stock market. Therefore, information about what they're doing and when a title is going to be released is important because it directly relates to their revenue. And, if their revenue is going to be down, their stock's going to go down, and, hell, the company can go out of business. But I think there's also a revolution coming. I think that gamers are generally friggin' tired of spending good hard-earned money to get a broken or an incomplete game. I know I am. I think Battlefield 4 really brought it to a head, and honestly, I think that the disaster Battlefield 4 was at its launch and current state today has dealt a brutal blow to Electronic Arts, but I think at the same time it's also woken up some developers that, the party is over. We need to do this better, that, how we release games and how we market the games need to be looked at more closely. That setting arbitrary release dates is stupid. It's going to hurt a game. Because if you set up a particular date for a release of a game, there are inherent issues that are or pitfalls with that strategy. I mean, computer software, is a science, but it isn't an exact science. It takes time. It's complicated, and there is no generally easy fix to some of the complications we've seen here in Battlefield 4. I mean, it's easy to say, well, listen, if you banned, South American players, it solved half the problem, and I honestly think that's probably true. But that's not realistic to the business side of video games, and I think inherently this creates a dilemma for the developers where they want to create a title, a good title, they want it to work, but the financial side says that they have to do it in 6 months instead of a year. And let's face it, geeks want as much time as they can get to perfect the product. However, the financial side and the pressures that go with that make it very difficult to attain, that balance where they can, develop a title, test it, and then, market it and release it. Next-gen titles cost a fortune to make. A fortune. Millions of dollars. There are jobs and the financial side of their stock is sometimes can be hinged upon one game and how good that game does. And if that game doesn't do well, the company doesn't do well, and next thing you know, that developer's out of business. Now, I think that, the whole Battlefield release thing has made a lot of developers wake up to that fact, and I think that is the main reason why we saw so many titles delayed in 2014. I mean, just about every big title that was supposed to come out in 2014 got delayed. And, while that's distressing that happened, what I also think is that it brings out a point that, that it's the expectation of what days they could be released are sometimes above what's feasible, and I think that they need to work on figuring out that balance so that we don't run into these debacles. I mean, frankly, I've changed my whole strategy in buying video games in general. I mean, at this point right now, I don't want to lay down $60 on any title until I've heard what other TLM members say about the game, what I see online about it, and such like that. I mean, I really don't want to even bother spending any money on a game because, I've had so many letdowns lately in certain titles. And what they were supposed to be and what I had hoped they would be and what they inevitably, what kind of product we were getting. So, I mean, that's really, how I feel about the game and industry in general as far as what they've been doing recently. The other thing that's kind of bothering me is free-to-play titles. Now, while I'm optimistic, about PlanetSide 2, I don't like the whole formula. I never did. I didn't like it on Facebook, and I certainly am not going to like it with my PS, my PlayStation, time as well. So, I mean, I have concern for the free-to-play titles because I don't like being nickel and dime. If the game works and it is, and it's something that I want to buy, yeah, I don't mind spending $60 on a title. But I don't want to be nickel and dime for $160 to be able to play a free-to-play title and be competitive in it, or to enjoy it. I mean, that's ridiculous, at least in my impression. So, I mean,